My name is Thomas Kusemererwa, a Catholic priest from the Diocese of Fort Portal, Uganda, East Africa. I wish to share with you my experience, my personal experience about the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley, Bishop of the Poor, Apostle of East Africa. This book has a lot to teach us about the servant of God and how deep impact he created on the lives of the people of East Africa. It is a great opportunity for me that I get to know more about the servant of God through my visit to the Generate of Holy Cross here in Rome. And it is by this visit that I get to know a little more about the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley, our first bishop, our founding bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal. We speak with fond memories about Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. I did not see him, I did not hear him speak, but his works continue to speak. The legacy he left behind continues to live. His dreams continue to manifest and bear fruit amongst the lives of all of us who continue to follow much later after the existence of Bishop Joseph McCauley. I wish to share with you my personal experience and the joys I have had, the benefits I have realized, the fruits I have received from the sweat of the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. These fruits are not just all about me, these are fruits that the Catholic Church, the Christian community, the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal until now continue to enjoy. To us, Bishop McCauley is more than an inspiration. As a diocese, look right, look left, you will certainly realize the presence of Bishop Joseph McCauley. The institutions he left behind, the dream he nurtured, the dream he left in plan continues to live in the hearts of all people. The magnificent cathedral that until now stands magnificent in the heart of Fort Portal, Our Lady of the Snows, Virika Cathedral of the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal, is an inspiration to us all. Well, his memory continues to live in the hearts of everyone, and people who saw him physically would still share an experience they had with him with great joy and excitement. As I share with you, it brings to mind the experiences, the joys, or the talks, and the people who worked with him, the jokes he shared with his priests. It brings to mind Monsignor Paulinus Wagambaki, because it is him who proudly talks about Bishop McCauley. And more so, I remember vividly his narration about his return from the US, and when he returns with a gift to the people, to the Christian community of Fort Portal, and how he would speak after being received with with adulations and amidst great joy. His first audience, the people, he tells them, I bring you good news and great news. And well, he was speaking in the local language, the language of the people. And according to the narration of Monsignor Wagambaki, he says, Baletira kagambo, akarize mpisi harugo. Well, as any would speak the local language with an English accent, with an American accent. But it was all excitement. That's when he brings the cathedral, the current cathedral of the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal, and with a special attachment, his mission, his devotion to our Blessed Mother, a legacy that continues to live amongst the people, and also the fact that he named the cathedral Our Lady of the Snows, and in his cathedral are the words inscribed in his chair, Mariam sequens non deviat, that following Mary, you do not deviate, you don't get lost. The special devotion to our Blessed Mother and the faith that Bishop McCauley instilled in amongst the Christian community continues to live and manifest itself in different ways. And to us, it's a challenge to hold on and to continue the legacy that our founder left behind. I will ask to restrict myself rather more on my personal experience and the favor that I have received through the intercession of the servant of God, Bishop Joseph McCauley. Being a beneficiary of the so many institutions left behind by Bishop McCauley, as I said, he continues to live, his ideas continue to live, and his dreams are still evident in our lives. I went through the seminary formation, the seminary founded by Bishop Joseph McCauley. I later went for theological, St. Thomas Aquinas, Katigondo. Certainly his great hand is evident in that seminary. I later went through the National Seminary of Gaba, St. Mary's. His great hand is until now greatly felt. The presence of Bishop McCauley is not only felt in the Christian community of Fort Portal, but also felt at the level outside the fort, outside Uganda, because the national seminaries belong to the Episcopal Conference. But you'll think of the Catholic University of East Africa. It has its headquarters in Kenya, but it has a strong hand. It has great ideas nurtured by this great mind, the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. Bishop McCauley started a series of sound and well-respected schools in his diocese, and these have helped to form, until now, to nurture good and future ministers of the church. His dream, his legacy continues amongst us, and it's a challenge that all of us, we look back at at the foundation laid by the first bishop and try to build upon that. He is a true agent of evangelization, evangelizing the soul, evangelizing the body, evangelizing the spirit. His priority for education was not just on secular, but on religious formation. That is why one of his dreams was the formation, the better training of catechists. He saw how instrumental the catechists were in the work of evangelization, and how difficult it was for a priest without the assistance of catechists. And so Bishop McCauley took seriously the formation of catechists. And indeed, he sought support, not just within, but more so from amongst his people, for the formation of catechists, for the support of further improvement or further training for a better catechization of the Christian community. That is how much value Bishop McCauley attached onto education. The education, the formation of the future ministers of the church, the formation of catechists, and the Christian community, to have a sound Christian community whose spirituality is evident in their everyday life. I will talk about a favor personally I obtained through the intercession of Bishop Joseph McCauley, since one of those who went through the institutions found by him, I felt a close attachment to Bishop McCauley. And so I urge everyone, especially students out there who are in school, who meet, sometimes it gets challenging. Sometimes studies can prove to be hard. Sometimes we have our set goals and we wish to have them realized. But sometimes it's not all about our efforts. Sometimes our efforts frustrate us. We need someone to back us, someone to tap us at our backs and to push us a little to realize our dreams. My testimony goes back to my theology formation at St. Mary's Seminary, Gaba. In my third year of theology, I enrolled for a master's program which was offered at the University of McCauley in Uganda. And one of my desires was at least also to say I got a first class in the course of my studies, that I too had got a first class. And so I started a novena praying through the intercession of the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. And so every day I had my prayer card praying through the intercession of Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. And I had it for 30 days. And after I was convinced, I was like, things will work out. Why? Because I'm asking the intercession of this great person whose desire and intention I'm trying to follow. The institutions he founded, I have gone through them. And so in my heart of hearts, I was like, let me also, to make my bishop proud, that I have gone through the institutions he has founded, may I receive a favor that also I got a first class, and also perhaps kind of rewarding the effort of my founding bishop. And unfortunately, I did not get the first class for my master's. And I remember in one of our talks with my bishop, Bishop Robert Muhirwa, we were at table one morning. I told him, by the way, I prayed through the servant of God, Bishop Joseph Mark, but this is what I was praying for, but I didn't get a first class. And then he was like, well, it could be that God saw you did not want that first class. Perhaps it would have made you a little proud and perhaps lose focus. So that's possibly why God didn't give you. Or maybe that's one reason why the servant of God wasn't so much driven into your intention, but for your own spiritual benefit. I was like, well, possibly you're right, you have a reason. Yes, but something I later, after 3 years, come to learn. In one of our talks with a friend and classmate, he tells me his thesis, his dissertation, was published by McCauley University. And I also give it a search. On finding, I find my name there also. And surprisingly, it was only the two of us whose theses were published by McCauley. Now, the university publishes well-done researched papers. And in our year, we were more than 20 who did that master's program. But only the two of us. I'll be honest, I'm not one of those intelligent students. I wasn't that good. And the smart students, their thesis, their dissertations were not published by McCauley. So I realized it after 3 or 4 years after my studies that actually Bishop McCauley responded to my petition, to my prayer request in the best way possible. In the best manner he could respond. It's not all about your first class, but what contribution are you giving to the rest? That's how I saw it. Well, to me, Bishop McCauley, since then, I have come to love him. I have come to share, especially with students in schools, about my experience with Bishop McCauley, and so encourage them to seek his intercession, to seek his presence in their lives, especially when things don't move as they are expected or as they would desire to see them move. Why? Because Bishop McCauley desired to have a good, well-formed, educated Christian community. And so seeking his intercession is a realization of his dream. And to me, to my conviction, I would imagine that would be an easiest form of prayer petition he could easily grant. Why? Because we are realizing the intentions of his heart. And so I encourage everyone that we cultivate the strong love, we cultivate the strong trust about the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley. Let us seek his presence in our lives as students. Why? Because for me, he's an educationist. To me, he's that icon. He is a harbor. He harbors the desires of all people who wish to gain wisdom through acquisition of knowledge. I think the mission of education of Bishop McCauley was also tailored around the theory of Ted Herzberg, the president of the University of Notre Dame, who says, do not bring the man to education, bring education to the man. Bishop McCauley lived onto that. So it's a call to all of us who hold near and dear to ourselves the mission and vision of our founding father, our Lord Bishop, the servant of God, Bishop Vincent Joseph McCauley, to take on his mission, and all of us to continue the legacy left behind by our founder. To us, the students, live it. Live the intention of the founder. To us in positions of responsibilities, let us carry on the vision and mission of our founder. I wish each one and everyone the best as we try to promote the cause of Bishop Joseph McCauley. And God bless you all. Thank you for listening to me.